when I took up this role in December 2021, obviously I was very reluctant to take up this. But once I, embraced this position and role, it's been such a satisfying and fulfilling experience for me. Because as you mentioned, you're dealing with, not only the established international stars, but you're creating the bench strength. And that has been very, very fulfilling, to see the amount of talent, to see the amount of potential at our disposal. And I can say with a lot of confidence, barring a couple of skill set, I think for next 10 years, I can say with a lot of confidence that next 10 years, we got a lot of players, who will make our country proud. And this, I'm not only talking about men's, even I'm talking about women's, and we are blessed to have that kind of talent. The whole idea is to how to monitor them, how to, groom them, so that they realize their potential. And for that, I think I've got a wonderful team. So we got a head of education, Sujit Somsundar, head of sports science, which is Nitin Patel, and then I've got unbelievably experienced coaches. We got 2 spin bowling coaches, Sairaj Bahutule, Rajiv Datta, 3 batting coaches, Apurva Desai, Rishikesh Kanetkar, and Sitanshu Kotak. 1 fast bowling coach, Troy Cooley, very experienced. We all know about Troy. And 2 fielding coaches, which is Munish Bali and Subhadeep Ghosh. So all these coaches and the head of the departments, Sujit and his team, Nitin and his team, play a very important role in fulfilling the expectations I have from what we do at the National Cricket Academy. So typically we discuss, we plan, we brainstorm and come up with what are the programs which are necessary, so that the young deserving players get an opportunity, exposure to develop as cricketers, and then there are various coaches who go out and execute that. And not only the coaches who are, on a full-time basis with National Cricket Academy, we have coaches across the country who come, and we have the ZCA camps, the zonal cricket camps, where there are other coaches who are part of the ecosystem who come and they take the camps, and then whoever perform well, after every ZCA camp, we have a tournament, and then the best performers from that tournament, from the ZCA tournament, are selected for the NCA camp, which is the high performance camp. And the NCA camp is conducted by the coaches at NCA. So I think it's a non-stop grind, and it's quite satisfying, it's quite fulfilling. And I told about the development of coaches. Through these ZCA camps, through this ZCA tournament, we also rank the coaches. And that's one of the expectations I have from the coach education department is how do we create the bench strength of coaches? So we know who is our number 1 batting coach, number 2 batting coach. Same with the bowling, spin bowling, fast bowling and fielding for both men and women. So there's a system where we're ranking the physios, we're ranking the SNCs, we're ranking the performance analysts, we're ranking the coaches, so that everyone are again not stagnating. Everyone are recognized for their contribution, and everyone are progressing in their respective careers. So, and I think it's great that everyone have embraced what we are trying to achieve, along with the state associations. Because we do a lot of workshops with the state association. We upskill the physios, we upskill the SNCs, we upskill the performance analysts, we upskill the coaches by having various workshops with the state associations. And everyone have been collaborating with what we are trying to do. So I think the whole idea is from top to bottom, right through our first class ecosystem, age group ecosystem, to what the national team is doing. I think everyone should align in one common objective, one common goal of how to take Indian cricket forward. And I think it's been going on in a really progressive manner. So I think even the methodology of coaching has changed. For any player, it's options which we give. It's not that we almost dictate them that you have to do this or you have to change. No, it's the options, and ultimately the player should feel comfortable, acknowledging and accepting that option. And if he feels that that's working for him, he will embrace it and he will continue to use it, through the season. The whole objective is to give that exposure to the player. And other thing which we have done is monitoring the players. both men and women. So the way we do is, when Rahul was the head coach of the Indian team, Rahul used to take care of the contracted players. And we at NCA used to take care of the targeted players. Then we had the emerging players, and then the under-19 players. So we used to take care of them throughout the year. They used to come for the camps, and once they go back to their respective state association, we used to monitor them, and every coach would have at least 10 players they are monitoring. So one spin bowling coach like a Sairaj would have 10 spinners under him, and he will monitor their progress, and we know what are the areas they require to work on, and through the year we make sure that player is working. To answer your question is, we collaborate with the coaches back in the state, and majority of those coaches are part of our ecosystem through the summer programs. So I think it's always a very open and inclusive way of working. It's not that we are telling something different and suddenly the player is finding it totally different when he goes back to the state association. I think the information is passed, the communication channel is very, very transparent and open. And we also have something known as athlete management system, where all the players who come and attend the ZCA camp and the NCA camps, there's a profile which is created for them, and right from their reports of the skills to the fitness to the musculoskeletal screening report, we have got mental conditioners who come and work with them. Every report of that player is there in that AMS. And now we are going to even request the state association to follow that process. So at least 50 players of each state association, 25 men and 25 women, also should be there on the AMS, because we've done a lot of work to make that AMS quite proactive. So the whole idea is, if a player comes to NCA or if he's part of any ZCA camp, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, his file should be there. We also will know how the player has progressed, and I think it will become very easy for anyone who's taking care of that player to know what the player has gone through every year. And I think that's the inclusive kind of programs we want to implement. So I think the biggest part here is the player. Everything is player centric. And we want the player to benefit. We don't want the player to get confused. We don't want the player to suddenly feel the burden that whose advice he has to listen. So I think everything is inclusive. We take into confidence the state association coaches, because ultimately the state association coaches spend a lot more time with that player than what we do, because we just get 1 month with them. But rest of the year, the state association coaches take care of them. So it's a nice collaborative effort we have. We're doing it. I think the facility is already ahead of time, and mostly from the SSM block and the coach education block, and to have that kind of number of practice wickets plus that kind of match wickets on the main ground itself is a great boon for the players. Now it's all about how you implement the programs, and you use the word vision. And here I must say that BCCI has totally supported whatever we wanted to do at NCA, and obviously Jay as the secretary has totally empowered and given us the freedom to do all the programs, because he knows that whatever we are doing is in the best interest of the players, and one of the important thing is to create the bench strength. And I must say that I'm really grateful and thankful that he's just allowed me and my team to execute all the programs and whatever the visions we have for the betterment of the players. So it's fantastic, and I think everyone talks why Indian team is at the helm. Obviously we won the World Cup in West Indies, which was a great result. But if you see all the 3 formats, we have dominated. Not only the rankings, we've dominated, and there's so much of supply chain as far as cricket is concerned. There's some tours I've been part of when they're preparing for some other format. That means that the amount of players we have at our disposal, I think, is a real blessing.